Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast.
Hey guys, today we're going to be discussing another question, and that question is, do you think you should keep your side hobbies once you have reached a higher level of ballroom dancing?
I think personally, I think you should definitely. Um, if it's not side, like for example, let's just take I don't know Elon Musk. He has two different, like he has multiple companies. For example, SpaceX and Tesla. As I'm not saying that, for example, SpaceX or Tesla is like side hobby, but he's doing two different things. One is for space, the other is for just just cars, Tesla. Um, I personally think you should. It keeps you busy. You get more done. You learn more just from day to day. Uh, yes, I personally think you should. There's a lot of benefits from that, and I think the benefits greatly outweigh the negatives of
Mhm.
keeping that side hobby.
Side
Um,
hustle.
Yeah, side hustle. Because I was thinking it could turn into like a passive income, that side hobby or hustle, whatever you want to call it. Um, you could have ballroom as your main source of income and then have that hobby as like a passive source of income. I like how this just turned into like like an economic educational episode. But definitely you should because yeah, the positives greatly outweigh the negatives, in my opinion. Some people might disagree. For example, a good example where I would disagree, ballet, once you get more advanced in ballet, it could actually hurt ballroom a little bit because advanced ballet and advanced ballroom don't really go together. This is why studios usually stick to basic ballet because basic ballet does help. Advanced ballet doesn't really help. Actually, could hurt a little bit. This is why I quit ballet. I got to a fairly high level and it started to affect ballroom in a negative way. Even though I got to a high level, I still don't turn out my toes in Latin. It's the most embarrassing thing that I have. But yes, all in all, I think you should. I think you should. How about you, Ricky? What do you think?
I definitely think that the positives of keeping a side hobby outweigh the negatives, the same as you. And I also agree that it does help to keep you busy, but I think a better word than busy, because sometimes we can make ourselves too busy and not actually be accomplishing what we think we're accomplishing. And I think a better word to use is that hopefully having two hobbies will keep you more productive because you have a certain amount of time carved out for your day to go to the studio and to prepare and for your ballroom dancing, and then maybe a certain part of the day carved out for your side hobby. And it doesn't even have to be every day. Maybe you have 1 or 2 days per week where you focus a lot on that side hobby, and the rest of your week you're really, really focused on dancing. And I think that keeps you productive, and it also keeps you from being all consumed with one thing. And I kind of had this problem that every single thing in my life was surrounded by dancing. From the moment I opened my eyes to the moment I went to sleep, it was literally just eat, breathe, sleep, dance. Which, to be honest, it's not a bad formula. Um, you can become very successful that way. But I also think if we're talking about your mentality, it's maybe not the best for your mentality, especially as a young person, because there's so many things that happen when you're a young person, especially when you're going kind of like from a teenager into a young adult into your adult life, that can really affect you. And I'm glad I had that experience, but I'm also glad that that's not still my life and that I'm able to differentiate different parts of my life and take my energy and kind of spread it out. So I do think that it is healthy and that it is good to have something else you can dedicate your energy to than instead of just giving up absolutely everything and anything in your life just to go to the studio.
Like that one famous line, all work and no play makes you a dull boy or girl, depending on your gender. But yes, your side hobby, should also be relaxing to you.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. You don't want too intense hobbies because that's going to beat your mental state, your physical state, depending on what that second hobby is. But definitely your physical state. If it's two sports and you're pushing up both sports a lot. So I would say pick one hobby to become professional at, and the second hobby as just a hobby because your first one will turn into a career.
Something that's actually a
Something
hobby.
that's actually a hobby. Um, it could be from knitting, cooking. I recently got into chess playing, chess, even soccer. Soccer, even though it's physical,
I
as I
know a lot
said,
of dancers that love to play soccer when they're
yes,
in the studio.
because it's relaxing. It's fun. You get to play with your buddies. It's nice, and you're learning something new. So by all means, keep it. Keep your side hustle, side hustle, side hobby. Um, uh, I just wanted to say when you're younger, let's say even just from whenever you start ballroom up to whenever you want to finish this, explore different hobbies as much as possible, but take some time for each hobby. Don't just start it and then 1 week it's like, okay, not mine, and you move on. Spend some time with it. I heard this like 90 days. You spend 90 days with that hobby or that certain activity or that certain thing that you picked up. If after 90 days, after putting work into it, if you don't like it, drop it right there and there. Drop it, don't continue it because you'll hate it. I think piano is the exception. Actually, no. If you don't like piano and this is like something you chose to do after 90 days, after working hard, if you still hate it, drop it. It goes for all the hobbies. If you don't like it, drop it because it will cause you more stress, more unneeded stress, actually. But you will absolutely not need the stress if your main is ballroom. But this is why all the European parents, Russian, European, Ukrainian, they always push for like piano, chess, math, stuff like that. I don't count math as a hobby. It's just
A
personally.
hobby.
But the reason why our parents do that is because first of all, it keeps us out of trouble for like the younger generation. It keeps us out of trouble because we're always going somewhere. We're always going to either dance, piano lessons, math lessons, chess lessons. Literally keeps us out of trouble. Um, and yeah, basically explore more hobbies. Put some time and effort into them. If you love them, fantastic. You found a hobby. If you don't, drop it. Move on to the next.
I also think if you're like somebody listening to this and you're like, I dedicate everything in my life to dance and I don't have a hobby. Should I get a hobby? In this podcast, we're not trying to tell you like, oh my gosh, you need to get a hobby,
Yeah,
you need to get a side thing to dedicate some time to. It definitely is different for every person.
absolutely.
Some people are going to find a side hobby and they're going to dedicate a lot of their energy to it. And some people are going to find a side hobby that they like and maybe just kind of do it here and there just for fun. I definitely
Yes.
think that if you're somebody listening to this and you don't have a side hobby, don't feel pressured to get one. But also, I think it would be smart if you just asked yourself, like, what is something I genuinely enjoy doing? Is it golfing? Is it watching YouTube videos? Is it painting, drawing? Is it cooking? Is it watching something else? Like, it doesn't have to be something really intense and something that's going to make you super successful. It literally could just be anything that can calm and relax and something that you enjoy. and try it out. It doesn't have to become your hobby, but I
Yeah.
definitely encourage you just to try it out and see how you feel.
Yes, definitely. He could be, for example, I love to analyze different characters in movies. When I, let's say, watch a movie and I really enjoy one of the characters, I will go through YouTube. I'll watch a bunch of analysis on it, and then I'll rewatch the movie and I'll try to analyze the character as well. It's the weirdest stuff. I've not met another person who does this. This is basically English class on my own time. People think I'm crazy, but I enjoy it. So where does that get me? Probably, well, it gets me somewhere. I get to analyze people in general, which is very interesting. But again, that's for me. We're not telling you how to live. We're just speaking our thoughts. Um. So yes, there we go. Let us know what you think of the question, what how your answer differs from us, or if you agree with us. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye,
Bye
guys.